The stars were quiet. Earth had not heard from space for many years. People watched the sky, sent signals, launched probes, but nothing came back. Scientists thought maybe intelligent life did not exist out there. They were wrong. On a cold morning, in January, a strange shape appeared in the sky over Earth. It was not a meteor or a satellite. It was something much bigger, something alive with power. The Zarnathi had arrived. Their ship was massive, like a mountain floating in the clouds. Black and silver, it moved without sound, without flame. Lights flickered across its hull like stars inside stars. People around the world looked up in fear and wonder. News channels across every country showed the ship. Some people screamed, some prayed, others just stood still. Within minutes, a message played on every screen. The voice was not human. It was deep, slow, proud. People of Earth, we are the Zarnathi Empire. We have watched your world. We see your progress. You are still young, but not useless. We will take you under our control. In return, you will obey our laws and serve our needs. The message ended with a cold warning. You have 48 Earth hours to agree. If you refuse, we will take control by force. This is mercy. Accept it. The Earth Federation, a united group of leaders from every nation, held an emergency meeting. Soldiers were put on alert. Satellites watched the alien ship closely. Captain Mira Lawson, head of Earth's Defense Council, sat at the center of the room. She was calm, sharp, and respected. She had been a soldier, a pilot, and a leader during Earth's hardest times. Now, she faced something Earth had never known, a superior alien threat. Have they sent anything else? She asked. A young officer shook his head. No, ma'am. Just the message. No reply to our hails. No signs of weapons, yet. Mira narrowed her eyes. They expect us to kneel. A general stood. With respect, ma'am, maybe we should talk to them, stall for time, learn more. Mira shook her head. They didn't offer a choice. They gave an order. That's not peace. That's conquest. Many in the room agreed. Others looked nervous. Earth had weapons, yes. But this ship in the sky was beyond anything they had seen. Later that day, a second message arrived. This time it showed a being, tall with blue skin and glowing eyes. He wore robes of gold and spoke with a smug smile. I am Ambassador Rylos of the Zarnathi. Your leaders have not answered. This is foolish. We offer protection, trade, knowledge. But you must obey. Your planet will become a protectorate of the Zarnathi Empire. He laughed softly. Do not worry. You will still have your art, your sports, your little cultures, but your weapons, your armies, they will serve us. We will teach you how to be useful. Then, as if to mock Earth, Rylos pointed to a globe behind him, showing Earth's continents. You are lucky we found you. There are worse empires out there. We are the kind ones. The message ended. People around the world were angry. Videos of Rylos spread fast. Social media exploded with reactions. Who do they think they are? One comment said. They come to our world and expect us to be slaves? But not everyone wanted to fight. Some feared what would happen if Earth said no. They had seen the size of that ship. No one knew what weapons it held. Back at the Defense Council, Mira Lawson stood at the front of the room again. They want us to be quiet and obey, she said. But Earth was built by fighters, by survivors. Our history is full of struggle and victory. We didn't come this far to become someone else's servant. The room clapped. She continued. We'll respond, with respect, but strength. We will not attack, but we will not submit. A message was prepared and sent. Back to the Zarnathi. This is Captain Mira Lawson of the Earth Federation. We thank you for your message, but Earth is not interested in being ruled. We are open to peaceful communication, But we will not surrender. Earth stands free. The message was short, clear, honest. The Zarnathi did not reply. Instead, within the hour, they destroyed one of Earth's space probes near the moon. It had been carrying data back from Saturn. 12 crew members, scientists, and engineers were lost. The explosion was seen by Earth's telescopes. A bright flash. Then, silence. Another message came from Rylos. That was your warning. We hope you understand now. Surrender, or next time, it will not be a probe. Mira Lawson watched the screen. Her face stayed calm, but her fists were tight. They killed scientists, she whispered. People with no weapons, just knowledge. Her officers looked to her for guidance. What now? One asked. She turned to them, voice steady. Now, she said, we show them who we are. The world was quiet after the destruction of the research probe. News of the 12 dead scientists spread everywhere. On screens, in papers, across radio waves. They had names, families, dreams. Now, they were gone. People were angry. Not just leaders or soldiers, but farmers, teachers, engineers, and students. The whole planet felt like it had been punched in the heart. But the Zarnathi didn't care. The alien ship still floated above Earth's skies, casting a long shadow over cities and oceans. It didn't speak. It didn't move. It just watched. In orbit, Earth's satellites picked up strange signals. The Zarnathi were scanning Earth's defense networks. Some of Earth's older satellites went dark, disabled silently. No explosions, no noise. Just gone. In the main command center beneath the Earth Federation building, Captain Mira Lawson stood in front of a glowing wall filled with screens and maps. She had barely slept. Her uniform was neat, but her eyes were tired and sharp. Report, she said. An officer answered, 3 more satellites disabled, ma'am. No sign of attack, just dead. Mira nodded. They're testing us. Another officer added, we believe they've tapped into low-level comms. Some of our deep space data lines are being blocked, so they're choking our eyes and ears, Mira said quietly. But not enough to make it war. Not yet. She walked to the center of the room where a round table displayed a 3D image of the alien ship. It hovered over the Pacific just outside Earth's airspace. They think we'll panic, Mira said, that we'll break and give in. But they don't know Earth, one general said. Mira looked around the room. We are not children. We are not weak. We've survived wars, disasters, famine, disease. Every time we stood back up. These aliens think they can frighten us with size and glowing ships? She stepped closer to the hologram. They just made the worst mistake of their lives. Far away, hidden deep under the surface of Mars, a secret human facility came to life. This base, known only as Red Hold, had been built in silence over the last 15 years. Few on Earth even knew it existed. Its purpose? To study alien tech, prepare for unknown threats, and test Earth's most advanced tools, in case this day ever came. Now it was ready. Inside Red Hold, scientists activated something called Project Needle, a swarm of small self-building machines known as nanominers. They were meant to collect resources from asteroids, but today they had a new mission. The swarm was silent, invisible to most scanners, and fast. They launched from Mars without light or heat, just cold motion and smart programming. Their target, the Zarnathi's orbital listening post, a smaller ship that had recently separated from the main alien mothership. It floated high above Earth's atmosphere, quietly listening and watching. The humans didn't fire missiles. They didn't send fighters. They sent dust. Billions of tiny machines, too small to see, each one carrying a simple command: break, melt, disassemble. The Zarnathi never saw it coming. Within 1 hour, the listening post began to fail. Panels fell off. Lights blinked out. Metal parts turned soft, melted, or vanished. No explosions, just silence. Then it was gone. Back on Earth, Mira smiled when she got the report. "One down," she said. But that wasn't all. From a secret hangar in Earth's orbit, a new kind of human ship launched. Its name was the Shrike, small, fast, and built for stealth. Its surface bent light. Its engines made no sound. Its body was covered in smart materials that changed color and heat patterns to match space. It was a ghost, and it had a mission. Get inside the Zarnathi's moon dreadnought, a massive battleship parked on the dark side of the moon, and disable it. The Shrike moved in the shadows, hugging rocks and ice. It floated past old satellites and debris. It used hacked alien signals to slip past sensors. Then it landed. 4 humans in black suits stepped out, elite operators trained for zero-gravity combat. They carried no guns, just EMP charges tuned to match Zarnathi technology. They worked fast, silently. Room by room, they planted the devices, and then, without a sound, the ship lost power. Back in orbit, Earth watched as the Zarnathi dreadnought began to drift, lights flickering, systems failing. It didn't explode. It didn't fall. It just stopped. For the first time, the Zarnathi realized Earth was not what they thought. The next day, Mira Lawson sent a single message to the Zarnathi. Her face was calm. Her voice was steady. "You destroyed a peaceful ship. You blocked our eyes. You spoke of mercy and kindness while making threats. We did not respond with fear. We responded with precision. We are not what you think." She paused. "You have 24 hours to leave Earth space. After that, we won't just disable your ships." Then the screen went dark. On the Zarnathi mothership, Ambassador Rylos was silent for the first time in days. His smug smile was gone. His staff reported the losses, the missing listening post, the dead systems on the moon dreadnought, the hacked signals. "It is impossible," one of his advisors said. "These humans were not supposed to have such skill." "They are primitives," another said. Rylos stood slowly. "They are not primitives," he said. "They are dangerous." He looked out the window at the blue planet below. "We pushed too far." Back on Earth, the people waited. Some still feared what would come. Others felt pride. For the first time in history, humanity stood together as one, not in fear, but in strength. Mira Lawson walked through the main hallway of the Federation base. People saluted her, nodded, smiled. But she didn't smile back. She knew this was just the beginning. "We've shown them we can bite," she said to her second-in-command. "Now let's see what they do next." The stars looked peaceful, but war was near. Above Earth, the Zarnathi mothership still floated like a dark god in the sky. It no longer shone proudly. Parts of its hull flickered. Its systems were not running as smoothly as before. Deep inside, the alien crew worked in silence, trying to understand what had gone wrong. Ambassador Rylos paced across the control deck. "2 of our ships disabled without warning," he growled. "We underestimated them." His advisors stood quietly. No one dared speak. Then the chief technician stepped forward. "Ambassador, we found traces of human tech inside the moon dreadnought. Tiny machines, smaller than our sensors can detect." "Nanotech?" Rylos asked. "Yes, and also something else, a signal, designed to copy our codes. They fooled our systems. They moved like shadows." Rylos clenched his fists. "They're clever. Too clever." He looked out the wide window. Earth spun, slowly below, blue, green, and full of defiance. "Very well," he said. "If fear won't work, let's remind them why the Zarnathi rule the stars." He gave the order. Full assault. Back on Earth, Captain Mira Lawson stood at the main command center. Alarms flashed on screens. Officers read new data aloud. They're moving. The mothership has launched smaller warships. Target. Low Earth orbit. Incoming in 20 minutes. Mira took a deep breath. It begins. She turned to her team. Is the Aegis network online? Yes, Captain, said her second-in-command. All satellites ready. Ground defenses standing. By fleet in position. Good, she said. Then let's show them what Earth can do. The Zarnathi ships entered orbit fast. Sleek and sharp, they moved like snakes through the black sky. Each carried weapons strong enough to burn a city. But Earth was ready. From hidden stations, around the globe, a powerful defense grid came to life, the Aegis network. It had been built in secret over many years, not just satellites, but smart weapons, railguns, jammers, stealth mines, and drones that moved like schools of fish. As the first alien warship came close, it was hit by a kinetic strike, a solid metal slug moving at 10 times the speed of sound. It tore through the alien hull like paper. Boom, one ship down. The second warship was caught in a net of stealth drones. Each drone latched onto the ship's surface and sent electric shocks deep into its systems. Lights failed. Engines died. The ship spun out of control and burned in the atmosphere. Boom, 2 down. The third ship fired back, releasing energy blasts toward the ground. But Earth's defense system tracked the beams and sent counterpulses, small but perfectly timed, that made the energy scatter. The ground remained safe. Mira watched the battle from the command deck. Every time a red dot blinked off the screen, her team cheered. But she stayed focused. How many left? She asked. 3 more in orbit, 1 moving toward the Pacific. The mothership is holding position. Deploy the Shrike, Mira said. Her officer hesitated. Again, ma'am? Yes. This time, it has a new target. High above, the Shrike launched again. It was faster now, its systems upgraded with data from the last mission. Mira had trusted it with a new goal. Disable the Zarnathi's orbital command relay, the brain of their fleet operations. Without it, the rest of the ships would be blind and slow. The Shrike flew like a shadow. Its hull bent light. It dodged. Alien sensors. It drifted close to the relay station, attached itself like a spider, and began its work. Inside, the crew of the relay station didn't even notice. By the time alarms started, it was too late. The power grid failed. The command. Codes froze. The fleet lost coordination. The Zarnathi ships started drifting, turning the wrong way, firing at nothing. Earth's railguns picked them off one by one. Boom, boom, boom. On the Zarnathi mothership, Rylos watched in horror. Where is the fleet? Status report? Why are they falling apart? A younger officer stammered. We've lost contact with the relay, sir. It's been shut down. By who? Unknown. Possibly that human stealth ship again, Rylos shouted. Do you mean to tell me they've done it again? Yes, sir. Rylos sat back in his chair, silent for a moment. Then, quietly, they are not just brave. They are dangerous thinkers, fighters, builders. He stood, voice rising. Send this message, now, to Earth. In Earth's command center, a new signal came through. It was from Rylos himself. Captain Mira Lawson, the ambassador said, voice low but firm. You have made your point. We came to offer control and guidance. You answered with strength and skill. He looked tired, humbled. We did not expect such resistance. But we respect it. Mira stared at the screen. So what now? She asked. Rylos replied, We will not continue this fight. Too many of our ships are lost. We request a ceasefire. Mira nodded. Terms? You will remain free. No protectorate, no control. We will leave your space, but we ask for safe exit and open channels for future talks. Mira thought for a moment, then said, Accepted. But next time, don't come with threats. Rylos lowered his eyes. Agreed. The Zarnathi ships turned away from Earth. The mothership moved, slowly, heading toward the nearest jump gate, a wormhole back to their space. People around the world watched the sky. The dark ship that had once filled them with fear now looked smaller as it drifted farther away. Cheers broke out in cities, towns, and villages. Humanity had won, not just with weapons, but with courage, planning, and unity. Later, Mira stood outside the Federation building. Reporters asked her questions, people waved at her, and soldiers saluted. She gave a short message to the world. We did not ask for war, but we were ready. We didn't attack first, but we finished it. Earth is not a weak planet, and we will not bow to anyone. The crowd cheered, but Mira didn't smile too long. She turned to her officer and whispered, "They'll be back one day, or someone else will. We need to be even more ready next time." And so, even as the sky grew quiet again, the work continued, because Earth had learned something important. They were not alone in the universe, but they were not helpless either. The sky was peaceful again, but only on the outside. Inside the Earth Federation's command tower, the lights stayed on all night. Officers moved quickly between screens. Messages flowed from station to station. Everyone knew the war was not over yet. Yes, the Zarnathi were leaving. But trust had been broken. Captain Mira Lawson stood by the large window watching the stars. The Zarnathi mothership was pulling away from Earth's orbit, but it moved slower than expected. Something wasn't right. A quiet alert beeped behind her. "Captain," said her second-in-command, Lieutenant Ray, "we've picked up strange readings from the Zarnathi ship. Power levels rising." Mira turned. "Weapons? Not sure yet. But it looks like they're charging their core systems." Mira's face grew serious. "They said they wanted peace," she said. "But this smells like a trick." "Lieutenant," Ray nodded. "Should we prepare a strike?" Mira paused. She didn't want to fire first, but she wasn't going to wait and let Earth get hit again. "No strike," she said. "Not yet. But move our fleet into defense formation and send out the Shrike. One last mission." High above, the black silent ship known as the Shrike moved again. Its crew, small and skilled, prepared quickly. This time they weren't just disabling a ship. They were looking for truth. Inside the Zarnathi mothership, the aliens worked in secret. A hidden energy core deep in the center of the ship was charging up, not for escape, but for something worse. Ambassador Rylos stood before a long screen showing Earth. "This planet," he said to his generals, "has made fools of us. If we return home empty-handed, our empire will lose respect. Others will think we are weak," one general spoke up. "But, Ambassador, we gave our word. A ceasefire." Rylos waved his hand. "Words are for the weak. We will fire one last strike. A warning. Something strong enough to remind them who we are." The general looked down, unsure. "And if they survive?" Rylos frowned. "They won't." Back on Earth, Mira received new data. "Their energy core is almost full," said Lieutenant Ray. "They're hiding it deep inside the ship under false systems." "They're planning something big," Mira said. "But why wait until they're almost gone?" Just then, a message came through from the Shrike. It was short but clear. "Confirmed. Weapon detected. Alien ship has hidden energy cannon targeting North America. Preparing counter-operation now." Mira's eyes narrowed. "They're breaking the truce." She turned to her officers. "Prepare to fire. Call in the Aegis satellites. If they try anything, we stop them cold." One officer asked, "Captain, what if we strike first?" Mira looked up at the stars. "If we fire first, we risk looking like the enemy. But if we wait too long..." She took a deep breath. "We lose everything." Meanwhile, inside the mothership, Rylos gave the final command. "Charge is complete. Aim at their largest power grid. Fire on my mark." The weapon started to glow, deep red and pulsing like a heartbeat. Panels across the alien ship lit up. Then something unexpected happened. Boom! A shock ran through the Zarnathi ship. Alarms rang. Lights flickered. Systems went dark. The Shrike had struck from inside. Its crew had entered through a maintenance port and planted a special EMP device close to the cannon's energy feed. The blast didn't destroy the ship. It disabled the weapon before it. Could fire. Rylos fell to the floor as the ship shook. What happened? Internal sabotage, shouted a technician. The humans, they're on board. Rylos stood slowly, staring at the now dark weapon system. He had lost. Again. And this time, Earth didn't wait. In orbit, the Earth Defense Fleet moved forward. Warships formed a wall between the mothership and the planet, Mira Lawson's. Voice came through on all channels. Ambassador Rylos, we know what you were planning. Your ship will remain where it is. We are boarding your vessel. Any resistance will be treated as an act of war. There was silence. Then Rylos responded. His voice was quiet, tired. You were not supposed to be this strong. Mira answered. You saw our people and judged too quickly. You thought we were soft, but humans fight hardest when we are pushed. Rylos sighed. I see that now. Mira continued. You say your empire is strong, but it is built on control and fear. Ours is built on hope, freedom, and unity. She paused. And when someone threatens what we love, we fight. The Zarnathi crew surrendered. Earth's teams boarded the alien ship, took control of the weapons, and shut down its power systems. No shots were fired during the capture. The alien officers stood down. Their pride had been broken. Ambassador. Rylos was taken to a secure chamber on Earth's orbiting station. There, he spoke with Mira one last time. I came here thinking I could scare your world into obedience, he said. You did scare us, Mira replied. At first, but fear doesn't last. Truth does. Rylos looked down. You could destroy us now. Mira shook her head. That's not who we are. We're builders, not destroyers. He raised his eyes. Then what will you do? Mira stood and walked to the window. The earth glowed below. We'll let the galaxy know, she said, that Earth stands free, that we do not start wars, but we finish them. Word of the Zarnathi defeat spread quickly across the stars. Other alien races, who had watched, silently now took notice. Some were surprised, others were afraid, a few were impressed. The message was clear: Earth is not weak. Do not take them lightly. Humanity's name reached places no probe ever had. In distant corners of space, leaders began to speak of Earth with respect and caution. On Earth, people returned to their lives. Schools opened, factories worked, skies cleared. But something had changed. A new age had begun, one where humanity knew it was not alone and that it could stand tall among the stars. Captain Mira Lawson sat alone in her office, looking out at the stars. Her communicator blinked. Ma'am, said Lieutenant Ray, we've received messages from other civilizations. They want to talk, peacefully. Mira smiled. Good, she said. Let's talk. But we stay ready. Yes, ma'am. She looked out the window one more time. We didn't choose this fight, she whispered. But we won it, together. And far above, the stars watched quietly, as Earth rose higher than ever before. The Zarnathi warship was gone. Towed out of Earth's orbit by human drones, the ship was powered down and unarmed. Its systems had been shut off. Its crew had been sent home under guard. The mighty empire that once looked down on Earth had been humbled. The people of Earth stood united. For the first time in history, there were no borders between nations, only cooperation. Everyone had helped, scientists, pilots, engineers, even farmers who sent supplies to distant bases. Humanity had faced the stars and said, We will not kneel. Captain Mira Lawson, now a symbol of courage and wisdom, stood before the Earth Federation Council. The room was quiet as she gave her final report. The Zarnathi have left our system. Their ambassador has returned to his people with our message. Earth remains free. We lost 12 brave scientists and several good people in orbit, but we defended our home. We stood together, and we won. The council members stood and applauded, but Mira didn't smile. She knew the galaxy was watching now. The first victory had been won, but it would not be the last test. After the meeting, she walked, alone along the garden paths behind the Federation building. The wind was gentle, the stars twinkled above, peaceful again. But she knew what came next. She wasn't the only one thinking about it. In the outer rim of the galaxy, deep within the Zarnathi Empire, Ambassador Rylos stood before the High Command. He had changed. His golden robe looked dull, his proud shoulders drooped, his voice no longer rang with pride. "They are not what we expected," he said slowly. "Their science is fast. Their people are united. Their spirit cannot be broken," one of the generals sneered. "They are still a primitive world. They only beat a few ships." Rylos looked at him sharply. "No, they did more. They built a defense system we couldn't detect. They created machines smaller than dust. They boarded our ships twice. And they didn't destroy us. That shows strength, wisdom." The High Command sat in silence. Finally, the Grand Chancellor spoke. "So, what do we do?" Rylos bowed his head. "We leave them alone. For now. But we must change. The galaxy is changing. If Earth stands, others may follow." The Chancellor nodded. "Then Earth is not just a planet anymore. It is a symbol." Back on Earth, celebrations began to slow down. People returned to their work, their studies, their lives. But the memory of the battle stayed strong. In schools, children learned about the Zarnathi. Not just the war, but the message it left behind. Never judge others by how small they look. In research labs, new ships were being designed. Faster, smarter, quieter. Earth would not be caught off guard again. Mira visited a training camp in the mountains. Young pilots trained there. Not for war, but for protection. For exploration. She spoke to them that morning. "You are not just training to fight," she said. "You are training to protect everything we love, our homes, our people, our freedom. The galaxy is big. Some will be our friends. Some will try to control us. You must always be ready." One young pilot raised his hand. "Captain, do you think the Zarnathi will ever come back?" Mira looked up at the sky. "Maybe," she said. "But if they do, we'll be ready. And they'll remember what happened the last time they pushed too far." Meanwhile, messages from distant stars began arriving. Some came from small alien groups who had long hidden from big empires like the Zarnathi. They sent simple greetings, offers of peace, small gifts of knowledge. One message came from a planet called Valaris. "We watched your battle. You defended your world with honor. We are not fighters, but we would like to share knowledge." Another came from the Thalari, a species known for their great libraries. "Earth has proven itself. We welcome you to the Council of Independent Worlds." Mira and the Earth Federation accepted with care. They didn't rush. They chose allies wisely. They knew power without wisdom was dangerous. In time, Earth built its first deep space exploration vessel, Unity 1. It was large, peaceful and beautiful. Its mission was not war, but friendship. Scientists, diplomats, and even artists boarded the ship. They would travel to unknown places, not to take, but to learn and share. Before launch day, Mira stood before the crew. "This ship is more than metal and wires," she said. "It's a message that humans can dream bigger, that we can explore without fear, that we don't want to rule others. We want to stand beside them. The crew cheered. The launch was watched by billions. People cried and smiled as Unity 1 rose through the sky, passing the same orbit where the Zarnathi once threatened Earth. Now, Earth reached for the stars not in fear, but in hope. Later. That evening, as the ship moved beyond the moon, a final message from Mira played across Earth and beyond. To all who hear this, we are the people of Earth. We have faced war, pain, and loss. But we are still standing. We welcome peace, we respect freedom, and we remember those who thought we were weak and learned we were not. We are human, and we are not to be underestimated. The galaxy changed after that. Where fear had ruled, respect began to grow. The Zarnathi pulled back their fleets. Their empire, once feared, now watched its borders more carefully. Other worlds rose with new strength, inspired by Earth's courage. Some began to say, "If Earth can stand, so can we." Captain Mira Lawson returned home one last time. She retired from the military, but not from her duty. She taught at the Space Academy. She told stories to the next generation. One student asked her, "What gave us the strength to win?" She smiled and said, "It wasn't just the weapons. It was the people. When we stand together, we are stronger than any empire." And as night fell, she looked up at the sky, knowing the stars were no longer silent. They were full of voices, full of stories, and now one of those stories was Earth's.